the biggest mistakes businesses make when doing planning? I would say from years and years and years of experience working with doctors, and I myself also made these mistakes, is seeing a lot of things that need to be done, and everything looks just important as the next thing. And so what happens is you take your energy and you spread it across a lot of things, and you move a lot of things around. Okay, you need more new patients, and so you hire a company to get new patients, but you can't really manage them, and then you move along and you're like, oh my gosh, patients are not choosing care in my office, and then you work on that a little bit, and then you're like, oh my gosh, patients are disappearing, and then you move on that a little bit, and oh, a staff member left, and now you're into hiring. And at the end of the day, nothing really moved, because you moved something a little bit, but so little that it kind of slid back. So with that said, I think one of the biggest mistakes that people make when planning is they don't actually assess the scene of everything that needs to be done first. So they take an inventory of everything that is not up to par, and then rate that by what's best and worst, and then pick the area that's performing the worst. It could be your marketing, your new patients showing up, it could be closing patients, it could be keeping patients, it could be keeping staff, and fix the worst thing first. And then move up to the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing, and make sure everything stays in place. So what I've noticed is what a lot of people do is they look around in the chaos, and they pick up the most familiar thing that they like the best, and they continue to work on that thing. And it's usually the thing that needs the least work, because it's had the most of your attention, and so it probably needs the least work. So biggest mistake number one is not actually inventory or categorizing all the things that need to be done to actually grow the practice. And then once you have it categorized, rating it, say on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 it needs a little attention, and 5 it needs a lot of attention, and then picking up the thing that needs a lot of attention and paying attention to that first. So I'd say mistake number one is not putting it in order. Mistake number two is, even if you put it in order and you grab that thing, is being able to keep enough attention on that thing that needs your attention and actually getting the product. So I can give you an example of this, okay? Is I'm gonna fix my new patient area. I looked at everything. This area is my biggest problem. I don't have enough new patients, and you start on it. And it seems so confusing, and it seems so hard, and you don't know how to do it. And then you give it up. And then you go back to the number one thing that you like doing, and you feel so good about your day. That's mistake number two, is giving up before you actually handle the area. Really, really common is giving up before it's finished. So mistake number two is actually identifying the right thing, but not sticking it out to actually get it fixed. And mistake number three, I would say, is actually when you're identifying all the areas that need to be handled, is putting things in that list that are not going to actually grow the practice. So let me give you some ideas. Some of the things that will grow your practice is new patients in your office, and that they actually arrive in your office. So marketing initiatives in place consistently that bring new patients into your office that arrive in your office. Pretty important. Important too is that you actually process your patients and you actually close them or have them buy treatment plans or buy the treatment, whatever it is that they're going to treat in your office. They're going to give you some money, you're going to bill their insurance, whatever it is. Pretty important. If you don't do that, you can bring all the new patients in the world in, and then they leave. There's no business. So pretty important, converting. The third thing is actually keeping them and treating them. Pretty important. Do you have a treatment team? And the fourth thing is, do you have any staff to even service these people? Or is it just you being the marketer, being the closer, being the treater, right? That's a problem. So do you have staff? Those are your four most important things. And I maybe could add on there is financial management. So do you have some form of financial management that you're billing your services, collecting for your services, bookkeeping your services correctly, and not just spending money on stuff that you have no idea where your money is going? Throw that one in there. So now you have 5 areas. The areas that are not that important is that the carpeting gets cleaned and the walls get painted. Not telling you your carpets don't need cleaning and your walls don't need painting. Maybe they do, right? But when I talk about grading, you've got your 5 areas to grade. You've got your new patient flow, you've got your converting of patients, you've got your retaining of patients and treating those patients, you have your staffing and growing your staff, and then you have your financial management. Those are the 5 things you grade, okay? And those are the 5 things you fix. Yes, on the weekends, you might go in and you might clean the carpeting and you might paint the walls, but only if you're getting a product in these areas. What I do notice is that some of these easier mindless things that it seems so easy, which is I can put this wall up, or I can paint this wall, or I have to mow my grass at home before I do this thing. There's so many things that get in the way from those things that you hate to do or don't know how to do that you would never get to them. So, biggest mistake I see then, number 3, is that you know what to do, but you choose something that's not very important and you choose to put your attention on that instead of the thing that will grow your practice.